Hello, this is Del Val TV here with our principal, Mr. Romanitz. He took a time out of his day to answer a few questions for us. So, Mr. Romanitz, when you were hired, what do you perceive as the first year being a one-year principal? What do you perceive as some challenges?
Well, that question was asked during the interview process, and I pretty much told the interview committee that I saw myself as being a caretaker of the building for a year, somebody that was going to pretty much maintain the status quo, keep things as they currently are, not things slip backwards in any way, shape, or form. And obviously, the most important thing is to deal with the day-to-day business of running the school. Dealing with all the kids in here, scheduling, parents, everything that happens on a daily basis is not a real high profile. And then, needless to say, we have to deal with the big ticket items. And as we get into the school year, the big ticket items are things such as the master schedule for next year, budgeting for next year, evaluating staff members, hiring people for next year that may have to replace people that are retiring. So at this point in time, I looked at myself as a one-year person, as a caretaker more than anything else. I'm not going to go in there and fix things that are not broken.
So after you've been in charge of school for about a quarter of the year now, do you see any things that you would like to change, or if you have more time, or anything that you think you can get in for the years out?
Well, first off, Mr. Moormile, who we just hired as vice principal, comes from Hopewell Valley, so he comes from a different environment, a little bigger school. I come from a school system that had, much bigger schools. So I think between the both of us, we have experiences that are different but yet similar in dealing with kids and running a building. So we've been able to come up with some things, maybe to tweak things a little bit that'll make things a little better, where things will run a little smoother, they'll be more student friendly. But not as far as making any major changes. Also, I think that in order for me to make any recommendations for major changes, I'd really have to go through a full year cycle. So far, I've gone through the first marking period, if you will. We still have the winter to go through. We still have midterm exams to go through. We still have HESPA, the springtime, bad weather, graduation, all the things that happen in the school year. So I would say that if I were to recommend any changes, I would really have to go through the whole cycle of the full school year to see what may or may not need some addressing. And if I did have some recommendations, there's a process that needs to be followed. I would have to well, first of all, I'd have to consult with other people in the building, the vice principals, department heads, etc. Make a recommendation to the superintendent, and she in turn would have to contact the board and bump that up the chain of command and see where that goes, because I can't come in and say, I want to change this, and bing, I wave the magic wand, it's going to happen. There's a process that needs to be followed. Right now, I don't think there are any major changes that need to be happening. I think the school is running quite well. The kids are really good. They help out a lot. They don't give us a lot of agita and headaches, which is a big plus. Staff is pretty good. Curriculum's online. So things are moving along smoothly, and I'm pretty happy the way things are going.
So do you see any disadvantages with you leaving next year and also the superintendent leaving? That leaves a lot of gap in the school's hierarchy.
Yeah, I think it would be a little difficult for the two senior school leaders, so to speak, to come in at the same time on July 1st. First off, the new superintendent and the new principal have to establish a rapport. They need to get to know each other and come up with a chemistry that's going to be beneficial to both and to the school district as well. So having two brand new people come in, they have to establish that chemistry, and perhaps the new superintendent may not know who the principal will be. I don't know how much say the new superintendent might have in hiring a new principal in the July time frame. Another disadvantage of two new administrators coming in July is they're going to come into a building with no kids and no faculty. There's a skeleton staff that's here in the summertime that are 12-month employees. However, these people take vacation time, so they won't have a chance to get to know what the district is really like, to get a feel for what Del Val's about. And not knowing what they want to do, which direction they want to take the school district in. I would think that the new superintendent needs to come in and probably spend 6 months to a year and see where the school district is at and come up with a vision where he or she wants it to go. And probably the best scenario would be for the superintendent to get a feel for where he or she wants to go with the district and have the opportunity to hire a principal that has that same vision and can move that vision forward. So I think it would be a disadvantage bringing two brand new people in this July.
Yeah.
Could it work? Would things still move forward? Without a doubt, but I don't think it would be the best case scenario in that case.
So would you have any advice to a new principal coming in? If you were going to stick around, what would you do? Just kind of that type of situation. Do you have any advice on what they should?
If I were going to be here for a while, number one, to get the budget passed. It's my understanding that in the last several years, the budget have not passed. As a result, several teachers, upwards of 17 people, have been let go. Perhaps somebody retires and they don't fill a position in. Some clubs have been eliminated. I can recall, I think you used to have about 30 clubs some time back. Now you're down to about 10. So those things affect, you know, what is provided for the students here. So getting the budget passed, I think, is key. Every year there are built-in costs that are going to take money from the budget. You know, fuel, electricity, things of that type, contractual services that we have with vendors, as well as the teacher's contract that require pay raises, things of that type. I also think that it would be beneficial if we had some smaller classes in some of the academic areas. Some of the classes are kind of large, and I think that the research shows that smaller classes with qualified teachers, you're going to get more bang for the buck. I think also down the road the curriculum needs to be examined to meet what's coming forward in the future. You know, maybe we need to add a couple of courses, maybe we need to pick up a couple of courses into something more, a little more challenging, perhaps get some more electives in, delete some electives, and things of that type. And I think something else very important, that even though this is a relatively young staff, there are going to be people that will be retiring and leaving, and I think it's very important to hire the best qualified teachers to get them in here and put them to work here at Del Val. And having said that, as long-term goals, you can almost say that these are changes that I might like to see happen down the future, but that'll be up for the new superintendent to determine.
Well, thank you, Mr. Romanich, for your time, and we appreciate you answering all questions and really helping us out and seeing what we can improve on next year. And we look forward to a new hierarchy coming in, new superintendent and principal, but we know we're going to miss you leaving. But thank you for your time.
Well, thanks, Chris. Thanks for coming down. Good luck to you.
Thank you.